Hi everyone, it's me again, back after 6 months. I literally told people that this time-lapse was being released last month, and, well, here we are. Two videos that I wanted to make after releasing episode 7 were the episode 8 time-lapse and an explanation video on why OE7 took so long and what that means for episode 8. And so, why not kill two birds with one stone? If you want the short answer, I lost motivation, shocker, for like 2.5 years, and then I gained it back where I then animated like 20 scenes in like 1 month. For the long answer, there's a story, but first we need some backstory to that. So in the past, I used to have an older Dell computer that was very slow and not ideal for animating, but it did the job. I did use it when animating for episodes 1 through 6, although it had seen better days. At the time of me working on episode 7 when I was like 15, I remember animating an elimination scene from OE7. It was a relatively long scene that I spent a lot of time on. Eventually, I finished animating and began to export, which for the record, this was on Anime Studio, of course. I left my computer and came back 20 minutes later to the exporting process to be about halfway done, which was unusual because it normally takes like, 5 minutes to export? But I figured it was just because the scene was a lot longer than the other scenes I've animated in the past, and so I let it take its time. Fast forward hours later, and it was still at the exact same spot for exporting, and I was like, I'm just gonna Alt F4 and bring it back up to retry exporting. I Alt F4'd, and it did that thing where the program turns slightly whiter and the cursor starts circulating. If you know, you know. So I figured I should just restart my computer because 1, I was tired, and 2, I wanted to watch the completed scene. So I restarted it and double-clicked on the scene. When I did that, an error message popped up in the program. I forget what it said, but it was something like the PNG files I use for the animation couldn't be found, or like they were corrupted. And then it asked me to open the scene anyway or close out. Obviously, this freaked me out, so I closed out and tried to start it up again, and this process repeated like multiple times till I decided to just open the program anyway. And when I did, all of my animation, keyframes, and PNG files were gone from the scene. When that happened, I literally remember just being like so done. Like I wasn't even mad. I was just like, whatever, because at this time I was already losing motivation. So when that happened, I was just like, well, from that point on, I did not touch Anime Studio for over 2 years. Last year in the summer, I was with a group of friends of mine, and most of my friends are aware of my object show but aren't associated with the community at all, so they were more real with me when it came to the quality of my show, which I appreciated. At the time, I did wish I could bring back OE since I did miss it a lot, but I thought people were going to jump me for taking so long, so I never ended up actually working on it. But when I was with my friends and the topic of my show was brought up, they kept saying I should bring it back and how much they actually like my show. This next part's going to sound really corny, so please bear with me. But watching my friends talk about how much they enjoy watching my show, I felt like I had never really heard that like in person. I do not know what clicked in my brain to get that sudden urge to make episode 7, but it literally just happened. And so from late June to mid-August, I made myself animate one scene for OE7 every single day. In fact, I literally told my Discord server that the episode was going to be released at the end of August last year, and it was, if not for one issue. Because I animated for 6+ hours a day to finish the scenes with little break, I ended up developing dry eye. I'm being so serious. I didn't even know what dry eye was until it happened to me. And what had happened was I had very bad blinking habits while animating. So doing that for 6+ hours a day, every single day, eventually caught up to me, and here I am. I've never told anyone about this except my family and like friends on Discord, but that issue was the reason OE7 was delayed from August all the way to January. So let this be a warning to all animators, don't be an idiot like me. Take breaks or you'll be like me, because I still have dry eye and that incident was almost a year ago. It is something that I deal with day to day now, and I have no idea if it'll go away, but it has gotten better and I just have gotten used to it, so what am I gonna do, you know? Anyway, that's basically the full story of how OE7 was posted and why it took so long. I'm sure everyone watching up to this point is curious about OE8, and it is obviously, as you can see, being worked on, and I do have a few scenes done. But I do not want to promise a next episode and not follow through, so this show is going back to being half cancelled. Basically, there probably won't be any updates on this channel for a while, kind of like during the production of episode 7, but a week or maybe a day before I theoretically post episode 8, a teaser/trailer will be released. I do really like episode 8, and I feel like it has a lot of development lore-wise, so I would truly love to release it sometime next year. Again, there's always that possibility I lose motivation again, so please do not get your hopes up. Anyway, thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and please don't comment I'm dead. Thank you.